Read the statement?
Yes, adequate notice of this regular meeting was provided to the public in the press on January 6, 2023, and was posted at the municipal building in accordance with the Open Publics Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-7.
Can we please salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you call the roll, Marcy?
Sure. Vice President Bucieri,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Here.
Councilmember Sparta,
Present.
Councilmember Tadrick, Council President Lynch.
Public knowledge, Mr. Tadrick is not able to make today's meeting. He's traveling. Additionally, we heard from Council President Lynch today. He has resigned effective today. He wishes the mayor and the council and the township continued success in the future, and we wish him well and appreciate the time that he has volunteered to our community and appreciate his caring towards his fellow Vernon residents and his time serving on the council and all the other volunteering that he's done for our community through the fire department and other avenues. So we wish Mr. Lynch, we wish him well. Thank you. Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comments?
Moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
This is only on the agenda, that's correct?
Yep, this is on agenda items only. You have 3 minutes for that. You can come up to this closer microphone here, or the other one's on. And just let us know what agenda item you're going to be talking about, please.
Exactly what I was looking at.
Thanks. You don't have to, you can just say generally. I don't need the number. That's fine.
And name as well now.
Oh, yeah. Is it list there? Yeah, okay, thanks.
I'll be right down. Evening, Chris Dowling. So I've been in front of you guys a couple of times with Sussex Cultivation. Good news on the cultivation front is, looks like we're moving along. Hopefully I'll have plans to the town, hopefully within the next week. On the agenda item that I just rise in support of, obviously, is an item that I had mentioned to you guys we'd be bringing up this month. And that is a continuation of what we're doing. We were awarded the manufacturing and processing license. We've secured a location which is owned properly in accordance with the ordinance that was passed. And looking forward to working with you. I know that kind of a lot of changes that seem to have gone on tonight, but hopefully you guys can understand that we've put years of effort into this adventure, that along with a lot of money. And hopefully you guys will support, at least support the fact that we are abiding by the ordinance that was passed and that we've identified a location, secured a lease agreement with that location. It's 92 Maple Grange. And we're currently under the process of trying to get in our conversion license to the state. In order to get that conversion into the state, we do need a resolution of support so that we can submit it to the state and move forward. So hopefully you guys will take that into consideration. I know there's a lot of changes that have gone on, but we've done all our part and held up to our end of the bargain. I hope everyone here will as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else have a public comment? Do you have anyone online, Marcy?
I don't have any hands up.
Okay. All right. Can I have a motion? Oh, sorry, Mr. Clarkin.
For the last, right?
Okay, save the best for last.
The first item I'd like to talk about is the
You could just state your name for the record.
Sean Clarkin. I live at 41 Tanglewood Drive. I lived in Barry Lake since 1996. On the agenda, I saw that we're approving some spending for the police department. It looked like a lot of technical stuff that I didn't know much about, but there was one item I did recognize, and it was photocopies. Now, I posted something online, and I think I got educated by my fellow citizens. I thought that charging 5 cents and 7 cents, 5 cents for a standard sheet of copy and 7 cents for a legal sheet of copy, was really ridiculous. So I called Staples and I asked Staples how much they charged, and they told me. And I posted that also online. And my fellow citizens educated me by telling me that the prices we're charging are dictated by the state of New Jersey, and that these prices were set in 2011. That was true. I don't know if it is. Okay, it is. Thank you. Now, if they're set, I got a little confused. If they're set by the state of New Jersey, why are we approving them? We should be able to just charge them the way they are. That's point number one that I don't understand. And I don't expect to be answered tonight. I'm just presenting questions. And if anybody wants to answer them, feel free. The other item is this. From a logistical, from a business point of view, if you're, let's just look at speeding ticket. Somebody shows up and they don't have a copy of their speeding ticket. So they come to the Vernon Police Department. The officer greets them when they walk in the door. He stands behind the bulletproof glass. He answers their questions and he makes a photocopy for it. He then collects 5 cents. That officer collected 5 cents that belongs to the township of New Jersey or the police department, whoever's books it goes into. Processing that 5 cents is far more expensive, putting it in a cash register, logging it, having somebody come down and pick up that 5 cents, taking it, putting it on a deposit slip, taking that 5 cents to the bank and depositing it in the bank. Accounting for that 5 cents is costing us more money than the 5 cents is worth. So if we don't have to charge 5 cents for a photocopy of a single speeding ticket, let's not. Let's just give the piece of paper away to the good citizen who needs it. Hopefully they're a good citizen. We're doing them a favor. And let them take it because the 5 cents isn't worth it for us to collect. Now, maybe we need to set something in place where if somebody comes in, it's an attorney's office and there's a pretty big court case and they're looking for information that transpired during the court that we had here. Maybe at 25 copies, maybe then we need to start charging. But I think to charge 5 cents for a single ticket is ridiculous. You're going to tell me my time is up?
Yeah, almost.
Okay.
Thank you.
I also sent everybody here on the council. I also sent everybody on the MUA a copy of my resume and my application to volunteer for the MUA. I hope you guys checked your emails. I hope you saw it. Okay. The MUA, I attended their meeting last week. They were very, very hospitable.
You could wrap it up, Mr. Smith.
They welcomed me. We made a lot of great progress. As soon as the recording is available, I would strongly suggest everybody watch it. And I would strongly recommend that you make no decisions to move forward until we have a chance to talk.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Is there anybody else?
I have no hands up.
Okay, can I have a motion to close the floor?
Moved. Second.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Pluto, seconded by Mr. Sparta.
First, you want to do a quick vote? Quick
Oh,
vote.
yeah, sorry, roll call.
Use just voice vote.
Voice, oh, yeah,
I'm sorry. Yes. Vice President Bucieri,
yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto.
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sorry about that. Marcy, do you want to read the proclamation?
Sure.
Thanks. Your proclamation.
Whereas radon is a naturally occurring gas that appears when uranium in soil decays and can be found anywhere. And whereas radon is an odorless, colorless, radioactive gas that can threaten the health of residents. And whereas radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers and the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. And whereas radon is found in 1 in 15 homes in the United States and any home in Chicago that may have elevated levels of radon. And Whereas testing for radon is simple and inexpensive and identifies radon problems that can be fixed, and organizations are supporting efforts to encourage homeowners to test their homes for radon, have elevated levels of radon reduced, and have new homes built with radon-resistant features. And whereas January has been designated as Radon Action Month to raise awareness about the potential dangers of radon and the importance of radon testing, now therefore be it proclaimed that the mayor and council of the Township of Vernon, that January 2023 be proclaimed as Radon Action Month.
Thank you, Marcy. All the council members received a copy of the bill list. It's very light. So now we didn't pay any bills
We
in
didn't,
January.
no, we don't do anything in the first 2 weeks of January.
Okay,
Thing over. So we actually just ran bills on Friday.
so next,
Yes.
okay. Okay. So there's not much to ask questions, but does anybody have any?
I'm not on the 2 checks there.
It was like,
Have we issued?
wow, I wish we always had so few bills to pay. Okay. Have the minutes from 2 meetings, January 1st of 2023 and January 9th. And all those up, everyone had time to review it. Does anybody have any comments? Did I do these separately?
You can do it. You could do them together.
Okay, I'll do them together. Does anybody have any comments or changes or additions or anything for either January 1st or January 9th?
Nope.
No, no, okay. I have a motion to approve both January 1st, 2023 executive session and January 9th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
January 1st was reorg, not.
Reorg, sorry, reorg.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. Can I have a roll call vote?
Sure. Vice President Bucieri,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto.
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
See, we have the consent agenda. No, we have to pull 2353. We've done what, right has said, that's going to be pulled. Then we need, does any council member have any resolutions they'd like to?
Can I have 2348? Separated.
2338. Okay. Yep. Anything you'd like to have pulled?
I just,
Like,
I have a question about 2349, if I could ask that without separating out.
yeah, we can just have questions as a general rule.
As far as the bids for the HVAC maintenance, is that an annual contract that nobody bid on, or? 2 people bid, but you've rejected all?
Yeah, we rejected all of them. They just had fatal flaws in the bid, so we're gonna be going back out to bid. I don't remember what Sean's,
Have,
a couple of weeks.
Have
The
you-
bids were not conforming.
okay, have you considered reaching out to the school district because they have HVAC people on their staff that might be able to do a share agreement on that?
I could reach out to them to discuss something like that and discuss with my QPA to see how that would.
Yeah,
We haven't had a liaison committee yet, but reach out.
Good.
And then we'll follow up. Okay. That's a good call, Brad.
I try every once in a while, Natalie.
Did they-
Credit where credit's due.
It's on staff. You
Yeah.
contract out or it's on
No,
staff?
it's on staff. They have a couple of months staff.
Okay, I'll follow up with you tomorrow on that. I'll reach out. I want to pull out 2355. Is that the only one you needed to pull out for now? 2348?
I believe that was the one.
2353.
2353 had to be.
53 was one, yeah,
I asked for 48.
that's just, yeah, you asked for 48, sorry.
2353,
We just pulled, yeah.
it's not being voted on at all. Okay.
Let me just check my. $23.54. We could pull that one. Right, so the coming out 2348, 2354, and 2355.
Yep.
All right, can I have a motion to, oh no, I need to read them all, right? Okay, sorry. I ahead of myself. All right. Consent agenda, resolution number 2345, resolution recognizing and authorizing the appointment of Paul Black as the construction official for the Township of Vernon. Resolution 2346, resolution of the Township of Vernon appointing an alternate conflict municipal public defender. Resolution 2347, resolution of the Township of Vernon appointing an alternate municipal prosecutor. Resolution 2349, resolution rejecting all bids for HVAC maintenance bid number 12, 2022 Township of Vernon. Resolution 2350, refund for totally disabled veteran block 515, lot 7, Alakpa. Resolution 2351, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran block 515, lot 7, Alakpa. Resolution 2352, canceling taxes for total disabled veteran block 515, lot 7, Alaska. Resolution 2356, sidebar agreement between the Township of Vernon and UAW local number 2326. Resolution 2357, resolution authorizing a grant application of the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for the fiscal year 2023 local recreation improvement grant program. Resolution 2358, authorizing the execution of an agreement for an easement at Mountain Creek, 193 Route 94, block 378, lot 20, Sand Hill Pump Station 2. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Brad? Roll call vote, please.
Vice President Bucieri,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto.
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now, the first resolution that we pulled out was 2348. May I have a motion for resolution 2348?
Moved.
Moved by Brad Sparta, second by Pat Rizzuto. Okay. Any questions or comments? I think,
So this is new issuance of 2.4 million in bonds?
So this is not a new issuance of debt. We already have the debt issued. This is just for the short-term notes. So we usually do bands once a year. This is for the iBank loan. So in order for us to close on the iBank loan and issue like that note through iBank, we have to pass a resolution the way we would for our regular bands.
Okay,
And that iBank loan is for pump station 2, right?
Pump station 2, correct?
yeah, I saw that in the thing.
So it's not a new issuance of debt. It's just the actual note portions that we are able to pay, have cash flow.
does anybody have any other questions? No. Okay, we wanted to pull out 20.
On that one, vote.
Okay, we should vote on it. May I have a motion or may I have a roll call vote?
Yeah.
Yep. Roll-
Vice President Bucieri,
Yeah,
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
now we'll go to resolution 2354. The motion. Okay, so moved by Mr. Sparta, second by Mr. Rizzuto. I just wanted to pull that out, just to have a quick explanation of what those funds were. Real quick.
Right, so this is for the 2022 budget, so it's the reserve budget year. We can still go back because we still have bills coming in. And these would be for anticipating expenses that we were not anticipating when the budget was passed for volunteer emergency services, repair of vehicles. Obviously, the cost has gone up, so that we needed to transfer over for those expenditures from last year. And the same thing with utilities. It's just, again, we didn't anticipate such a high increase in utilities, so,
So this was some money we had in other accounts that we could move over.
yes.
All right, thank you. And I have a roll call vote. Thanks.
Vice President Bucieri,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have a motion for resolution 2355.
Moved.
Second,
Thank you. Moved by Mr. Sparta, second by Mr. Rizzuto. Okay,
actually, I choose not to second that motion.
we'll take it back.
Take it back, please.
Okay.
I just looked at the wrong number.
Oh, okay. So first by Sparta,
There's no second, can't move on.
Nope.
No.
Okay. If there's no second, does it come back on later or at
It
another?
can
meeting?
come back on later.
It can or comes?
It can,
It can, okay.
but being that there's no second right now, the resolution would go.
The resolution good. It's so no second is a no vote,
It's not being voted on, yes.
not being
Not
voted
voted
on.
on.
It's not
Actually-
failing.
It's actually better than if it were defeated.
Right, exactly. I just
It
want to be
comes back.
clear as to what's going on now and what potentially could happen in the future. That's all.
so if we don't have a second, I guess we'll move on. Then the same thing. Okay. Thank you. And next we'll go on to introduction of ordinance. Ordinance 2302, an ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, New Jersey, vacating a portion of the paper street known as Road B in the Township of Vernon. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2302? Moved by Mr. Sparta. May I have a second?
Second,
Moved by Mr. Rizzuto. Have a roll call vote.
Can I ask a question for?
Yeah.
Isn't this on our last agenda? Is it a different ordinance? Or is that highlighted part the change?
Yeah, that,
Change to it.
there was a change. The ordinance that was voted on, introduced, had the wrong block and lot number on it.
Do we have to repeal that one? Or
You could just never bring,
Never bring us.
never bring it up to a second, never bring it to a second reading?
You know what? I have a question too. So for ordinances, we don't ever have a discussion on the first reading?
usually not. Some municipalities do, but you don't have to.
You don't have.
You could have a council discussion on the first reading. The second reading is what's known as the public
Public.
hearing. Where usually the public comments. There are been instances where the public comments on the first reading, on the introduction of it, but usually it's at the second reading.
So the council could have questions.
Sure.
Answered on the
So
first reading. Okay.
if there is questions on the first ordinance, first reading.
Yeah.
Ordinance, if there's any material changes, does that have to come back for first or no?
On the first reading, before the first reading is introduced, and what sometimes happens is the council will make an amendment to the ordinance before the first reading
Okay.
is adopted.
Okay.
And in that case, you don't have to reintroduce it.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been introduced yet.
All right, thank you.
So that being said, does anyone have a question about this ordinance?
Okay,
That being said, does anyone have a question about the ordinance?
we don't discuss it.
No,
you said we could.
It's,
But that-
if you want to, it's
Yeah.
vacating a paper road in the town.
Yeah, which it's clear, so. Brad brought it up and I thought it made sense, like if we have questions now, before we go to the second ordinance and lose more time, it
Sure.
would kind of make sense.
Yep.
I don't have questions about this particular ordinance, it was more just like a
Mhm.
procedural comment. Okay, can I have a roll call vote?
Yes. Vice President Bucieri?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes,
Councilmember Sparta?
Yes,
Motion carries.
Okay. We have ordinance 2303, an ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing chapter 250 of the municipal code of the Township of Vernon entitled Fees and Escrows Enumerated to update police department fees. I guess if anyone has a question, we can ask that now. If not,
motion,
may I have a motion to introduce 2303?
moves,
Moved by Brad Sparta, second
second,
by Pat Rizzuto. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes. Vice President Bucieri?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta?
yes,
Motion carries.
May I have a motion, I'm sorry, ordinance 2304, an ordinance of the Township of Vernon, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, adding permitted uses to the commercial recreation CR zone in the township of Vernon. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2304?
Moved.
I move by Mr. Rizzuto. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sparta. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, Vice President Bucieri,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And we have a public second reading of an ordinance, ordinance number 2301, calendar year 2023. Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish Cap Bank NJSA 40A:4-45.14. May I have a motion to open the public hearing for ordinance 2301?
Moved.
By Mr. Sparta, may I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Rizzuto, all in favor, Marcy?
Give public time to talk, right?
Yeah, I have to open it though with the vote.
You have to open it even though we just made a
Yeah,
motion.
you gotta vote on
We
the
gotta vote
motion
on
to
it.
open.
Yeah. Can I have a roll call? No, not a roll call.
I'll make a motion to open the public.
You just did.
We have
But I
a
need-
motion. Do you want all in favor? Do you
Yeah,
want?
all in favor. No, I want all in favor. Thanks. Don't you do that or I do it?
You do.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Somebody do it.
Any opposed? All right, now the public floor is open. Anyone want to come forward with a comment regarding the ordinance 2301?
I have no hands up.
No, okay. May I have a motion to close the floor?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, floor is closed. May I have a motion to adopt 2301?
Moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Sparta, second
Second.
by Mr. Rizzuto. May roll call vote?
Vice President Bucieri,
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto,
Yes.
Councilmember Sparta.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now we have public comment. It's a 5 minutes on any topic. Please come forward and state your name for the record.
Hello, good evening. My name's Peter Knight. Didn't anticipate speaking tonight, but while sitting in the gallery, I noticed that the building seems to be using fluorescent lights. And I would just suggest that whoever would be involved with it, consider using LED lighting, which could be perhaps a significant cost savings. That's all I had to say tonight. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there anyone else in the public that has a comment? Marcy, is there anybody else online?
Yes, I have McClackery.
Mr. McClackery?
Yeah, good evening. I have a comment about the band shell. First of all, position on that has not changed since the last time it was brought around, which was, I don't know, 6-8 years ago. And the second thing is naming of the band shell. That I have a problem with. Vietnam veterans. I'd just like to say that I was in the freshman class of Uncle Sam's Merry Band of Misfits of 1968. So I kind of know something about this period and these folks, these veterans. But I'd like to talk to you about other veterans. I'd like to talk to you about the people that, went over there to Afghanistan. Hey, maybe even Iraq. Or how about Storm and Norman's crowd? How about those guys? How about the guys that were in, Mogadishu? How about those guys? How about the guys that, oh yeah, the ones that were in that barracks in Beirut? How about those guys? I mean, to single out one specific group of veterans for something and deny the others a claim for what they did is pretty much a straight up travesty in my book. But if you do want to name something for the Vietnam veterans, I suggest that you rename that high school football field stadium in honor of the Vietnam veterans, and drop the name of Masserino off of that, because guy was just a bureaucrat. Give us a break on that one, please. And that's about it. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna respond to that. I don't know if you meant an insult towards Vietnam veterans, Mr. McClatchery. I think you possibly might have, and I do take offense to that. My father was a Vietnam veteran. My son is an Afghanistan veteran, so I have both of those veterans in my family. I hope that's not what you meant. I can understand disagreements about a band shell, about naming a band shell, but I can't understand ever disparaging anyone who wore the uniform of a U.S. military service person and served in a foreign war.
Excuse me, I'd like to comment on that, Mrs. Butcher.
Go ahead.
Madam President. I thought long and hard about this, and this is not something that just came out of the blue. If you recall, the council back in 2011, 2012, gave its resources to the Vietnam veterans at that time to help establish a facility, a cemetery, and we allowed them to use our attorney. And with the work that they have done on their own, they have established a beautiful memorial facility that I think needs to be recognized. And I think not so much the facility, but the work that these gentlemen have done. When they came back, no one said to them, welcome home. I make it a point to say that to them every time I see them. And I think the establishment of a band shell, which is an amenity that I think will do this township a great service, and be a tremendous plus for children from preschool up to octogenarian adults in this community, would be a great benefit. The cost is not going to be that significant. I've already managed to secure some grants on this. Members of this council have already made private donations. And I think that this facility can be the unity project that I hoped and envisioned that it could be. For God's sakes, let's give something a chance to bring this township together rather than a reason to continue to erode, divide, and become a basis for conflict. We're looking to establish the use of something, as my good friend, late Mr. Wetzel said, for God's sakes, give us credit for having some brains and let us do something other than playing sports over there. And I can't help but agree with him. I would hope you take my comments in the manner that they were made, but I think it's a great opportunity for this township to come together and do something that's vital. And as far as the cost on this, whether it becomes fully funded or not, that's something that'll work out. You're not talking something that's going to be being paid for over a period of 30 years. It's simply too small. As a matter of fact, there was a press release in the paper, from Oakland, New Jersey, today notifying its citizens and anybody else that they received a $40,000 grant for their band shell to be put on their great lawn in their Oakland Park. So I think this is a great opportunity. And as a matter of fact, I want to take this opportunity to thank our mayor and his staff for being able to put together the grant for recreation grant that we are applying for in such quick order. I think it could be substantial and hopefully it'll be of great help. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, am I still talking?
You got it
Here
if
it
you want
goes.
it. I don't care. It's up to Matt.
Well, no, I thought you finished your comments, Mr.
No,
McClatchy.
I was waiting for everybody else to finish their comments.
Well, no, you sounded like you finished your comments and that's why, but if you have some time left.
All right. Okay, so, basically, I'm a fifth generation veteran in my family. So don't toss out to me being a veteran, because I am one.
Thank
I
you.
volunteered. I stepped up to the plate. Some people didn't like it back then. That's 1968. That's 50 years ago, folks. I got over it. And my point is, you should not keyhole addressing one group of veterans and leave the rest out. I don't think that's appropriate. I have a great admiration for the World War II veterans. I think those guys, you can't outshine. No way, no how. I don't care what you went through. But that's me, and that's my opinion. And you folks have yours, I have mine. And thank you very much and have a good night.
Thank you.
Peg Distasi.
Ms. Distasi?
Good evening. First, I would like to thank Brian for his service, as well as Pat for his service for the last year and a half or year and a month. Anyway, I just want to agree with Mr. McClatchy that I believe that the band shell should be named for all veterans. I don't think we should be excluding anybody. We have a lot of World War II, we have a lot of Vietnam, we have a lot of Afghanistan. Let's include them all. Why exclude them? They all deserve recognition for the great thing they did. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yes, Jessica Paladini.
Ms. Paladini?
Yes, good evening. I was actually enjoying the fact that I had nothing to say, but Mr. McClatchy's comments literally made me want to cry. A travesty to name the band shell for the Vietnam War veterans? No. I lived through the Vietnam War era. I saw how some of those soldiers were treated. Yes, we honor and we respect all veterans, but let's not forget that we have a park named Veterans Memorial Park already. I'm just really speechless that to name the band shell after Vietnam War veterans is a travesty. I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful gesture to name it after the Vietnam War veterans. There will be other things that we could name in the future. We have a cemetery, as Mr. Rizzuto said, for all veterans. We honor all veterans. My husband was a veteran in Germany during the Vietnam War era. But a travesty to call it that? No. I think we owe it to our Vietnam veterans to finally recognize them. Thank you, Mr. Rizzuto, for coming up with that. That's all.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else?
I don't have any other hands up right now.
Perkins?
And my name is Sean Clarkin, 41 Tanglewood Drive, Highland Lakes, New Jersey. What Pat said about uniting Vernon, that's definitely something we should work towards, something that the town is long overdue. But the way you go about uniting a community isn't by building a band shell.
Okay.
Hang on a second, well, hear me out. All you simply do is you put it on the ballot. Band shell or no band shell. And then when 51% or more of Vernon citizens vote to build your band shell, and it's your job to go out and promote it. You're an elected official, you have an idea, go promote it to the citizens and allow the Vernon Township property taxpayers and the renters that are registered to vote here, vote for a band shell or not. And that's how you unite the community, because once it gets approved, nobody can argue with you. 51% or more of the citizens said yes. There's no more argument. Move forward, build the thing. You know what I'm saying? What you name it, it's none of my business. I'm not in that position. But to put it on the ballot and have the Vernon community come together, have our politicians go out and, what's it called? Campaign for it. The word is campaign. Go out and campaign for it. Convince the community to vote for your band shell. Now you're serving the purpose we elected you to. You're educating the citizens as to why a band shell is a good thing. Just don't shove it down their throats. We're going to have another pump track and another drama and another this. We don't need the drama. Put it on the ballot. Let the citizens vote. This is America. And this is the voting booth. It's what makes America great. Vernon has, in my opinion, all the problems it has because you don't use the voting booth. Okay, people get elected, private agendas come up, and whether it's a private agenda or not, some people are going to say it is. Put it on the ballot. It's only a few months away. We could have it built in 2024. Thank you very much.
This is a representative democracy that we live in.
Can I come back up?
All right.
You don't use like a minute.
Yeah, but that's the.
Okay, that's all right.
Anybody else have a comment?
I have no other hands up.
Oh, Mr. Dunlop.
Just a question.
Okay.
But I know questions have to be asked from here. Steve Dunlop, Williamsville Estates. Anyway, we can get an update tonight on the SCMUA appeal.
Sure, there's no decision. There's no decision.
There's no
Decision.
decision.
I haven't decided yet.
We haven't decided.
And as far as the Vietnam veterans, I think they were a group that was greatly neglected, treated very poorly. I was a Vietnam era veteran myself. And I saw firsthand the way that they were treated differently, obviously in the World War II. Veterans were treated. And I think it's a good thing to have the recognition for them. Okay, Pat, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else have a comment?
We still don't have any hands up.
No? Okay, can I have a motion to close the floor?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to say, Mr. McClatchery, if I misunderstood you, I do apologize. I appreciate all our veterans and thank you for your serving during the Vietnam era. I agree, all our veterans deserve recognition. So if I misunderstood you, I apologize for that. Mayor, can we have your comments, please?
Thank you, our Council Vice President Bucieri. My comments tonight cover 3 topics. First, I take this opportunity to make another reappointment to our Municipal Beautification Committee. This reappointment is that of Ms. Joanne Duncan, who was a key player on this committee last year. I am just now reappointing Mrs. Duncan because I am just now in receipt of her municipal volunteer application, which I require before I make an appointment to one of our municipal boards, committees, or commissions. Thank you, Mrs. Duncan, for volunteering to serve for another year. Second, as I have previously stated, one of the standard operating procedures that have been established by this mayor and this council is the procedure reviewing every issue from the perspective of, number one, how can we save and stretch the use of those taxpayers' dollars that's provided by our local taxpayers? And number two, how can we specifically do some of the things that we want and need to do for our town, while at the same time saving local taxpayer provided dollars? Part of our answer has been to focus on moving Vernon forward by operating the most cost-effective and efficient municipal government that we can. Another part of our answer has been to incorporate as a standard operating procedure the active looking for and applying for as many grants as possible. In my comments tonight, I want to share with our residents some pertinent grant-related information about actions that the mayor and council have taken, which, number one, enables the town to contribute to the health of the residents in a very specific and meaningful way. Number two, enables the town to make this contribution while at the same time saving local taxpayer provided dollars. And number three, enables the town to observe National Radon Action Month by taking a meaningful health-related action. The municipality has applied for and received a small but meaningful grant to purchase and distribute free radon test kits to Vernon residents who are interested in testing their homes for the presence of radon gas. As was stated in the proclamation read earlier, radon gas is a radioactive gas that is colorless, odorless, and found across many homes in the United States. This gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer after cigarette smoking. The EPA and the Surgeon General's office estimate that radon is responsible for more than 21,000 lung cancer deaths each year in the United States. This grant will allow us to purchase a limited number of radon kits. And therefore, these test kits will be made available to Vernon residents on a first come, first served basis. Based on the timeliness of our ability to get these radon kits from one of the state of New Jersey approved test kit suppliers, we anticipate having these kits available by the end of January or the first part of February. More specific information about the availability of these kits and where residents will be able to pick one up will be made available on our municipal website. And the third and final item, in our efforts to successfully jump through the many hoops that the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection has required us to jump through in order to move forward with the much needed replacement of our decades-old sewer pump station number 2, we ran up against a last-minute, previously unknown DEP requirement for the town to have a formal easement agreement to gain access to this pump station. This is a critical station that serves the municipal center as well as the entire town center area. And because this pump station is located on Mountain Creek's property, according to the DEP, this type of easement agreement should have been in place decades ago. As the municipality ran up against a critical deadline that made it absolutely necessary for us to get the required formal easement executed, Joe Hessian and his team at Mountain Creek made it a priority to allocate the time and human resources needed to get this required task done. The completion of this task is reflected by the council's passage tonight, resolution number 2358. I take this opportunity to thank you again, Mountain Creek. Council Vice President, that ends my formal comments for tonight.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor. Comments?
I have no-
Any comments?
No.
Matt?
I take a minute to thank Brian for his service to our town over probably close to a decade and a half with a little break in between. Brian's always been a sounding board for me to ask questions of and to give answers. So I appreciate his time that he's given to the town. It doesn't go unnoticed by me. I do have two other questions though. one, we're at the end of January here. What is the budget timeline? When is the council gonna see a first iteration of the budget?
So the budget timeline was pushed back by the DCA. So the requirement to remit it to council for review is February 27th.
Okay.
I believe the requirement to introduce it is the end of March, around the same time, like March 30th, around that. And then the requirement to meet for adoption is the end of April.
I did provide the council the initial dates.
Yes,
Yeah, but they've been
they've changed since then.
changed
Right,
like.
that's why I asked, because I thought it was originally end of January, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That and, now with Council President Lynch's resignation, we have an open seat. What is the process that we have done to fill that? And what under statute, what do we have to do?
Under statute, the council has 30 days to make a temporary appointment to council member Lynch's seat. That temporary appointment will expire, similar to your situation, council member Sparta. So whoever runs that seat will have to be filled for its unexpired term at the next general election in November. So in November, that'll be for 2 years. So in November, there'll be 3 seats in the mayor's seat up for election.
And that vacated seat, is that, so when people put in petitions, do they put in petitions for that seat or they put it for all 3 seats?
Well, there's only one vacant seat right now, and
That's my point is,
so the council picks whoever takes that seat.
Right.
The council also doesn't have to fill that seat. They have 30 days to fill it if they're going to fill it and make the temporary appointment. If they don't act within 30 days and make a temporary appointment, the seat stays vacant until the election in November. If anyone wants to run for any of the seats in November, they can follow the usual petition process.
so it's not on the ballot, it's not listed as a separate unexpired term?
I'm not sure how it'll be listed on the ballot.
Correct.
I believe it will.
So then the petition has to designate if it's for the full term or unexpired term.
Yes.
Oh, so when I get, gotcha.
Thank you.
So again, I'm sorry, do you have any?
That's all.
Okay, thanks.
Excuse me. Mr. Sparta made me feel bad. That I hadn't commented on my good friend, Mr. Lynch's departure. It was my hope that I'd still be able to convince him to reverse his thoughts. Kind of why I didn't even bring it up, but I concur. This is a man who's given an awful lot to this community. The reasons for him separating himself from the council and resigning are his, and I can only wish he and Renee the best of luck and thank him for the extreme amount of service that he's shown to Vernon Township, either in fire safety or in governing. And I want to thank him. I'm going to miss him. Certainly going to continue to see him, but I just want to say I appreciate his efforts on behalf of the township, and he's going to be missed. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks. I again echo what Brad and Pat say about Brian, what I said earlier. I do wish him the best, and he will be missed on the council. I don't have any official comments. I guess I do have some questions too that you answered some of them, Josh, about the term. So now the next step would be for Marcy to advertise that we are looking for.
If that's what you want me to do. Mhm.
It's really the council's preference as to how they want to pick the replacement. There's been numerous replacements in Vernon through numerous councils, and each council has handled that process differently. I don't believe if you want to make a decision tonight, you can make a decision tonight. I don't think you have to make a decision tonight, but it's really the collective 3-4 of you to decide how you want to fill that vacancy.
We are in a little bit of a timeline because we only have 2 meetings in February.
Yes, you can always
And if-
call a special meeting too.
Yeah. If we don't,
And I would really respect the fact that Mr. Tadrick is not here.
Here, yeah, I
And
know.
I
it's
think
not
we
here.
really need to, hear his comments,
Yeah.
respect his thoughts.
Yep. When's our February meeting?
It's, I believe February 16th, but it is a Thursday. Keep that in mind because we have a holiday on Monday.
So, February 16th is our first meeting of February?
Yes,
So Josh,
That seems weird.
if I can just ask.
that would have been
That's right.
13th, but it's a holiday.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, what?
So the statute says that we have to appoint within 30 days if we're going to appoint
Temporary appointment.
temporary appointment. Since our meeting is not until the 16th and
We're almost-
take the special meeting out of it, right?
Mhm.
We're almost at the 30 days. Can you post on after the 16th and appoint after the 30 days or no?
I don't post what?
Post for an open position.
There's no requirement that you post for an open
So you
position.
don't have to post.
You do not have to post.
Okay.
There's no requirement to post.
If we do post, are we obligated to appoint?
No,
If we get interest and say we decide not.
it's your decision. to make.
So.
If you don't,
If-
then you have an open seat.
You have an open seat for
Saying,
9 months.
I understand, wanting to, I want to hear Mr. Tadrick,
Yeah, absolutely.
but
I mean,
is there a
if you
problem?
get, if you do post and you get interest, those are names you can choose, but I mean, anybody.
You can appoint someone that doesn't.
Doesn't even-
Appoint anybody.
Because
Yeah, and if it's seconded and voted
Yeah,
on, it is.
I understand what you're saying. So my thinking is I definitely want to hear Joe's views on it, but it wouldn't hurt anything right now to direct Marcy to post that we're interested.
Yeah, as long as that does not,
Obligate us to
doesn't
anything.
obligate us to anything, I have no problem with that. I don't want to have any action until
No action.
Councilmember Todrick has input on this as to what he would like to do.
And as I get,
Where do you typically?
emails
post
or
it?
letters of interest, I will send them to you,
Mhm.
immediately,
Where do you post it? On the website?
just on the website.
And nothing prevents anyone from sitting on their own and saying.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, there's people obviously who are aware. So
Mhm.
I'd like to at least have that on the
I
website
can
and then
tomorrow.
discuss it
Mhm.
with Joe when he's available
I think maybe what we should do is find out what Councilmember Todrick's schedule is.
and have a meeting before.
Yes.
Yeah. So the week of, like maybe February 6th.
Yes, I just have to advertise 48-hour notice, so you just have to
Beforehand.
let me know.
See what his schedule is.
Yeah, see what
So,
Let's see what his schedule is and then we can go from.
well, and look at your schedules too, if that works for anybody,
Okay.
pick a couple days. And then we can, have a special meeting.
Okay,
That's all I have, I think.
okay. Now, if I do post, do you want, the responses back by a certain day?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the calendar
I
here.
mean, you can let me know
I
that.
think,
Yeah,
honestly, I think February 1st is fine. I mean,
I was gonna say,
somebody's gonna
Okay,
put in, they're gonna put in.
okay,
because today's the 23rd, so that
That's fine.
gives you a week, a little more than a week.
okay.
Anybody else have any questions about that? All right, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
I just want credit for an hour meeting. We did very well.
You got it.